It could be a really, really talented, productive group. I mean, I think we got all aspects of rushers, all aspects of players in general. From Rank all the way to Malik, Will, Jamar. I mean, we got a combo, and I think just overall with us attacking front, how D'Amico wants us and Burke wants us, I think we can do a lot of things. Sky's the limit for sure.
How much have you taken upon yourself to teach Will how to become a defensive player in the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, I really ain't got to do too much, but I still obviously give my teachings whenever I got some on my mind. But overall, he's a smart kid already. I think he's just one of a well-versed kid, just a humble kid who understands, just want to continue to just soak up knowledge. So it's not much of really teaching I have to do, but I mean, he's definitely open to listen whenever I do have my pointers to give to him.
What have these battles been like for you guys, the defensive line against the offensive line? Y'all get to kind of play y'all's
For sure.
real version of football.
Yeah. It just overall just makes us understand what we have in front of us and what we need to work on. And like I said, whenever we didn't have the pads and we have shells on, you can kind of see a little bit. You can work on your hands in that aspect. But to the guys who physical rushers and understand how you want to set people up, that's when the pads come on. I think that's just beneficial for both sides. Offense and defense. Iron sharpens iron, as we all like to say. But I love it. Every single day you kind of just have to switch it up too, because even though you may win on some things, you got to continue to just work on these things. I mean, you're going against the best ones, the Titus and LT. You're gonna get your money's worth, 100%.
D'Amico was just talking about how you're concerned you were trying to go for a breakout season. Does that still linger with you, knowing that you're going into a pivotal year?
Man, I try not to think on too much, just because it's a part of the game. I had to just really accept that last year, and that was one of the toughest parts. Because obviously, as we know, I set my goals already earlier. But now at this point, I'm just trying to make sure that we get some wins and help whatever I can do on this side to make the team better, not just myself. I think everything else will fall into place. So it was a little bit, but at this point, my focus is on the team and just trying to make sure that we ready to go come the first game.
D'Amico was just talking about how the goal is to make it as uncomfortable for quarterbacks as possible.
100%.
How do you see him uniquely approach that?
Yeah, I mean, if you just turn on the tape from San Fran, I mean, he's just their play style and everything is just about disruption, no matter what it is. I mean, their D-line is firing off, so he definitely trying to emulate that here. And I think we do a really good job of just understanding what he wants, and I think that standard has already been set and it's been seen and it works. So it's not hard for us to buy in on that. And he's a guy who's been there and done it and understand his players and listen to it. So I think overall it's just gonna be good for us. I'm excited just because we get to actually just show our talents up front and they turn us loose.
Jonathan, what are some of the more subtle differences that D'Amico's asking you from that position?
Not really too much more. I think mainly just go. I mean, usually in the past we've always had other things to worry about, but now just go. I mean, we'll figure it out, and I think that just helps us at D-line to just keep our tunnel vision on our keys and just get off the ball and try to disrupt whatever shows up in front of us. We're gonna wreck it. So I'm excited about that. I think that's just the best system you can have for a D-lineman, just to go, and we clean everything else up in the back end.
You mentioned watching the 49ers. To follow up earlier, you mentioned watching the 49ers. How much of that do you find yourself watching? What's most helpful for you?
I mean, I think now that aspect I wouldn't say changes on me, because I always like to just get off the ball and be aggressive and attacking. And I think that's why I've had good success in the past. I think overall, I think it just makes us do that without thinking that it's going to be at a higher rate. So I think it's going to be beneficial for us. I mean, the guys we got on this D-line, they're all those type of guys who can literally disrupt the game one by one. So I just think overall that's going to really help us out moving forward.
During the offseason, you got engaged.
Yeah.
You have a baby on the way. How
Yes,
much
sir.
did that change your mindset coming into this season?
It's everything. I mean, at this point, I'm waiting. Every day I get done practice, I'm just making sure baby girl all right. My fiance as well. And I just think overall that just adds the icing on the cake. I think at this point it's bigger than me at this point. So I just when we got drafted guys like Will, I see that. I just get excited for young guys like that, Dylan as well. All the guys coming in, it's like the same kind of feeling. Just want to get a game back to them, and everything's not about you no more. It's about the team. And I think that helped that process of transition. As he asked earlier about the injury from last year, that just made it much better. Like, hey man, this game is still gonna go on. It's at this point you got to stay you, understand what the plan is moving forward. So everything else, so you put in different perspective, it makes the game that much easier.
You mentioned earlier about the fact that you have to change your techniques going against the guys now. What about your first step? I know that's one thing you pride taking that first step.
Yeah.
You had to change all the anticipation on the first step.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the one thing that they wanted to take out of our game is that thinking. After you take that first step, the next step, if it's you running into somebody, you're running into somebody. And you don't have to adjust. You make the guys adjust to you. So going against guys like Titus and LT, they've seen it all. So that's the part where you have to hone in on that technique and also understand how to beat those guys, because, that's the same technique you're going to see from the best of the best. That's the only way they can stop us, the way they block us. So other than that, I just see us going, not just that first step, but second and third, fourth, fifth, whatever it is to get to that quarterback. I think overall our defensive line just understands that we got guys that come from the system like this or around the system like this to help us smooth that transition over.
Anytime you get to training camp, you're going to have hope and belief that this team can do great
Right.
What's it like for you? This is fourth training camp,
Right.
fourth different head coach.
Yeah. It's exciting. I'll say that. Just because, I mean, obviously the scenery doesn't change, but the energy can change that every time. Your approach, the things you control, can change every time. I think this time, obviously, I know a lot more, been through a lot, and I think now just overall me coming into it this year with a different mindset. Everyone else is doing that because at the end of the day, we all want to win. I mean, it's not like we're coming into, a situation where nothing can be changed. We got everything. Even if the situation changes, we still got to progress and get better when it gets here. So the mission never stops. I mean, even one win, even after week one, y'all gonna ask us whatever the situation is. We still got to continue to propel and get better and better, no matter what the situation is. So I'm excited to see that for sure.
We know it all starts up front, but how comfortable are you on the back end knowing that they have your back?
Oh, yeah. From Jimmy all the way down to to C. Harris, down to Kirko, to Henry, whoever it is out there calling shots, I'm comfortable with all of them. And on the outsides, obviously Sting and whoever it is out there, I'm really comfortable because at the end of the day, I know we're gonna do our part up front to try to make it uncomfortable as possible for the quarterback, so that way they don't have to guard as much, where they can just basically they stand on their man a little bit, the ball might come out bad and they get a pick, and that's how the defense is supposed to be happening. You know what I'm saying? It's not supposed to just be one person making a play, and it all works together. So if we get pressure up front, they end up getting picks. You know, they make the quarterback hold the ball, we get sacks. And the linebackers, they just clean it up. So, I mean, overall, I think it just takes the weight off of everybody and lets us just go so that way, you know, they can really just do their job in the back end.
You see Jimmy being a difference-making personality as well as difference-making player.
Yeah, 100%, man. We already seen that from the first day he stepped in. Humble guy, understands the game, understands talent, understands how to coach certain guys and be that mentor, that big brother as well, who's done it and brings that fire all the time. You know, Jimmy gonna lay the wood anyways. I mean, that's just how he's been since he's got in the league. But I'm super excited just to have him as a vet, a guy who knows what they're doing, who's been there, and continue to bring us up as we have a young team and have that energy at the same time.
JJ, you were talking a lot about last year, your individual goals.
Yeah.
What are them this year? And then what are the team goals primarily with the defensive line in general?
Yeah, just making plays, man. Just don't switch it up. Just continue to make plays, do your job. The game is gonna come to you. I didn't really set out too many more other than that, just to play ball and just hone in on my technique. When I look too far ahead, that's when things get out of sight. I only control the controllables, I mean, every single day. So, and as for a D-line, as for a team, we already know what the mission is, to win. It's to win. I mean, it's do whatever it takes to win. I mean, at that point, we done seen it all. We've been there, right there at it. Now it's time to make that transition, take that extra step. So, I'm excited.
What's different? I'm sorry.
Go ahead, you're good.
What's different about having a younger coach who also played in the league recently?
Right.
What's the difference in that?
Anything that come out of his mouth is not BS. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He gonna get it to you straight. I mean, he understand what it is. He's been there right at it, as you all seen in the past. I respect a guy like that. You know, I can respect a guy who's telling me, who might get in your face, who might say certain things you might not want to hear at the same time, but he understands what greatness is and understands like how to get to it. And I think when you have a coach like that, it changed the whole perspective because you feel bad to let him down. You know what I'm saying? So I just think overall, he's a guy who understands and sees everything in these players, and each individual he's putting out there, he expects greatness, and I think that's what he wants, and that's what we're going to get.
Thank you.
For sure. Appreciate y'all. Yep, y'all have a good one.